How can we live longer? You'll find the answer to this age-old question in Japan. The Japanese life expectancy is the world's highest at 87.32 years for women and 81.25 years for men. The average lifespan of the Japanese is the highest it has ever been, and they keep getting older. In 2019, the number of Japanese aged 90 reached 2.31 million, including over 71,000 centenarians. So, have the Japanese found the fountain of youth? We delve into Japan's top secrets to good health and longevity. Healthy diet. May your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. Hippocrates. The Japanese diet is a perfect example of Greek physician Hippocrates' 5th century advice and major reason for their long lifespans. Their diet is lean and balanced, with staple foods like omega-rich fish, rice, whole grains, tofu, soy, miso, seaweed, and vegetables. All these foods are low in saturated fats and sugars and rich in vitamins and minerals that reduce the risk of cancers and heart disease. Their healthy diet has led to an impressively low obesity rate in Japan, while other countries struggle under the weight of poor diets. Just 4.30% of the Japanese population is obese, compared to 27.80% in the United Kingdom and 36.20% in the United States. Obesity is a major cause of killer diseases like diabetes, cancer, and heart disease, so it goes without saying that the Japanese live longer thanks to their healthy diet. The science backs it up. According to a study, those who followed the Japanese government's recommended dietary regime had a 15% lower mortality rate than those who didn't. And they start young. Japanese schools follow healthy dietary guidelines with lunches of plenty of fruits and vegetables and very little refined sugar. Conscious eating. Hands up if you eat dinner on the sofa while watching TV or scrolling through your phone. If that sounds familiar, you're probably not paying attention to what and how you eat. A common saying in Japan, Hara hachi bonme, tells people to only eat until they're 80% full. It's thought to be a Confucian teaching that roughly translates to eat until you are 8 parts full. Research shows that microorganisms living in the gut may alter the aging process, while bad gut health causes an inflammatory response in the body that's linked to conditions like strokes, dementia, and heart disease. The more you eat, the more inflammatory stress you inflict on your body. It usually takes at least 20 minutes for the brain to recognize you're full. So, Japanese people use hara hachi bonme as a reminder to stop eating. Smaller portions and slower eating are also secrets of the long lifespan of the Japanese. At mealtimes, they serve the food onto lots of smaller plates and sit on the floor and eat together, along with using chopsticks. This makes the whole eating process a lot slower. The secret to living long isn't just about what you eat. If you want to live longer, you must focus on how you eat. Drinking green tea. The Japanese have been drinking a ton of matcha green tea powder for centuries, and it shows. The ancient drink is rich in antioxidants that boost the immune system and help prevent cancer. It also helps with digestion, energy levels, and regulating blood pressure. The secret to matcha tea's powers is in the production process. They deprive the young leaves of sunlight when growing, which increases their chlorophyll and antioxidant content. The Japanese drink tea several times a day and also practice traditional Japanese tea ceremonies that date back over 1,000 years. Next time you reach for a cup of coffee, why not try green tea instead? Active lifestyles. We know that a sedentary lifestyle can lead to bad health and a shorter life. Studies have found that over 2 million Brits will live with 4 or more chronic illnesses within 20 years because of their inactive lifestyles. The Japanese avoid this by incorporating movement in their everyday lives. Around 98% of the Japanese children walk or cycle to school, while radios broadcast Radio Taiso every morning across Japan. The daily commute is also active, with most people walking or cycling to the train station. It's not that they don't sit down, they just do it in a healthier way. People often sit on the floor for meals or socialize in a kneeling position known as seiza. The position involves resting on your shins and tucking your feet underneath your bottom. Even going to the bathroom incorporates movement in Japan. Traditional Japanese toilets involve squatting, which is healthier for the bowels and your muscles. The importance of daily physical activity continues well into the latter years of Japanese people. You'll see many elderly people in Japan still walking or cycling around. World-class healthcare. The long lifespan of the Japanese can also be put down to their excellent healthcare. Japan's healthcare system is one of the best in the world. Since the 1960s, the government has paid 70% of all health procedures and up to 70 or 90% for low-income citizens. They also have advanced medical knowledge and equipment. The government has introduced many preventative measures to care for its citizens, such as health screenings in schools and workplaces. Along with government initiatives, good health care is part of Japanese culture. Japanese citizens visit the doctor an average of 13 times a year for checkups. This means that illnesses are more likely to be caught early. It's also traditional for people to care for elderly family members rather than send them to care homes. The psychological benefits of living with your family in old age means that people are happier and live longer. Good genes. While things like good healthcare and a great diet have helped the Japanese to increase their lifespan, studies suggest that they have a genetic advantage. Two specific genes, DNA 5178 and the ND2-237 MET genotype, play a potential role in extending life by preventing the onset of some diseases. DNA 5178 helps people resist adult onset diseases like type 2 diabetes, strokes, and heart attacks. ND2-237 MET genotype also helps with resistance to cerebrovascular and cardiovascular diseases. Japanese people are more likely to have these genes, although it's still something of a lucky draw. Some people will receive more longevity genes than others. Ikigai. Similar to the ideas of Haig in Denmark or joie de vivre in France, the Japanese live with Ikigai. This ancient philosophy roughly translates as your reason to live, and encourages people to live with joy and purpose. The Ikigai way of life is especially popular in Okinawa, known as the land of immortals. They have one of the longest lifespans and the highest rates of centenarians in the world. Okinawans treasure community and forge close bonds with their neighbors. They believe that having a purpose is essential for life fulfillment and that you can find joy and purpose in many aspects of your life, such as helping others, eating well, and being surrounded by loving friends and family. They don't even have a word for retirement and prefer to keep active well into later life, rather than retire and stop all work completely. Science has proven that they're onto something. Studies show that having a purposeful life leads to a longer life expectancy through better sleep and lower rates of chronic illness. Research has also shown that retirement can lead to an earlier death. As you experience a sudden lack of purpose. So, if you're looking for an extra few years of life, take a leaf out of the Okinawa's book, Find Your Ikigai, and live with joy and purpose. This is it for today. Subscribe to our channel for more videos, and we will see you in the next video. And until then, goodbye.